So Dame Dash has lost his remaining shares in Rockefeller. Let's go to Hip Hop Uncensored podcast for the news.
A judge ordered Dame Dash to sell his remaining shares in Rockefeller to cover an $823,000 legal debt. Now, Dame Dash lost a copyright infringement lawsuit to Josh Weber. They're working on a film, and some reason, the guy won. Dame owes the money. Now they're ordering him to sell off his, shares in Rockefeller, which we know is very, very sacred to Dame Dash. That's one of the only things he's holding on to. He's been, going back and forth with Jay-Z over the years over this. And now, according to the judge, he has to now get rid of that. I don't know if you heard about this, Sam, man, but what's your thoughts on this, man? He no more Rockefeller for Dame. It's over.
Yeah, and the end of an era is officially over.
Not gonna lie, for years I thought he had already been bought out of his Rockefeller ownership situation. You know what I'm saying? But apparently not. But let's move on to see the rest of the details.
You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing to be happy about, even though we haven't seen Jay-Z and Dame Dash side by side in a very long time, and those two are Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying? So Rockefeller, as we knew it, hasn't been the same since. There was still some residuals and still monetary value in having the moniker of Rockefeller Records or owning shares in Rockefeller. And obviously Dame Dash, like you said, held that near dear. It's just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? We are in business. We know the highs and the lows of business, and we also know one Dame Dash always played big. You know what I mean? Always bet big, always bet on himself. He's been on record and saying that he never really holds any cash that he reinvested in his business. He's always about to flip. And when you play that game, there's a lot of harsh consequences that come behind that. And one of these things are if your car breaks down and you ain't got money to pay for it, then eventually it starts getting real. You know what I'm saying? The bills start piling up and things start happening. So on a bigger level, you start grabbing $800,000+ lawsuits and you ain't got it to cover, then those assets are there to cover it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's there for. So it sucks. It's unfortunate. I'm not going to act like I'm surprised at the situation because this has been Dame Dash and his personality and the way that he's lived throughout these decades and decades is one of the main reasons why we love him. One of the main reasons why we just go, God damn, Dame, come on, bro. But that is Dame, and the end of the era is officially here in him losing Rockefeller.
And so this is part of being a boss. As we know, Dame loves to talk about being a boss. Like, having a business is not as easy as people think. Like, you always have to, if you care about your business, you always have to reinvest in it, put money in it. Just even if you ain't able to do constant upgrades, you still have to upgrade here and there, and that costs money. And then just the basics of doing business, which includes the constant buying of product to sell the product. You have to buy so much of the product so you can be a seller, whatever industry you're in. You have to, Dame was doing movies and all this type of stuff. You have to put up a big movie budget, or not even big, but a sizable movie budget to be able to try to make some money. Then you got to market it and do it all, and then it may not sell as much as you want it to sell. But then you got to move on to the next product. So you got to invest some more money. So money is always tied up in doing business. You got to pay people for services, to do this and to do that, and and so it being a boss ain't as glamorous as everybody, ain't as easy as everybody let it rolls off the tongue to be. You know what I'm saying? And once you in it, you realize that you may incur costs where you run into situations where you don't have the liquid cash to get yourself out of this thing. And I don't know if that's the case with Dame. I don't know if he's just refusing or he just actually don't have the cash. But he'll tell you he reinvests a lot, so he may not have the cash to put up to solve whatever lawsuit that he lost. And then that's the tough part about being in business for yourself.
Yeah, I think what's weird about it, man, is that after Rockefeller, it seems like everything that Dame got his hands in, it was kind of he left early, incomplete project, got sued. Somebody, getting that Dame for this, getting that Dame for that, trying to shop somebody's film, didn't have the rights to this, didn't have the rights to that. It's like everything has kind of been a mess.
Yeah.
Since Rockefeller. So it makes you kind of wonder, like, did Jay-Z kind of see something or were things going on where Jay-Z was like, yo, I got to get rid of this dude right now, or you going to take this whole company down? Because, honestly, like, let's talk about it. The Culture Vulture Project, that was huge. That was the biggest thing in hip-hop. That got left high and dry. It's dead now. Dame Dash Studios. happened to it? And maybe it's still gone. I don't see a lot of promotion with it. Other little things that he jumped into here or there, it seems like it's a little momentum, then it dies. And I get it. I'm not trying to take a shot at him because I understand we've done a lot of things that failed too. Yeah. Right? We had a lot of ideas of things to do. So that's just in business. You might have 30 things that fail and flop and one thing that pops. I understand it. But on the contrary, I hate to even weigh him against Jay-Z, but what did Jay-Z really have that failed and flopped, since?
Yeah, I get it, but Jay-Z will. He will probably have times where there's going to be some bumps in the road. Every great businessman does. Every person that's done anything great does have moments where hiccups happen, ups and downs happen, wins happen, losses happen. You know what I'm saying? Dame is experiencing some loss right now. It's tough because Dame cares so much and he fought so hard for people, which is why I thought it was harsh that Jay-Z would not speak to him for so many years, even though they had differences, because he was the guard dog that fought these corporations when they would, companies, they trying to backhand it and sneakily break up stuff and create, division in what Jay-Z and Dame Dash had put together. And these companies, man, corporations love to do that. And Dame would come in there, kick in the door, cuss everybody out, go off on everybody. He was very needed in that aspect. And he meant well. And he did well. Because as you can see, the company flourished largely because of Dame. We're not going to take away. We know Jay-Z did his thing rapping and he did his thing business, but we're not going to take away from what Dame Dash did. But I will say this. Dame Dash's temperament and his over-the-topness, people can grow tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it got things done and this, that, and the other, sometimes you have to recalibrate the way that you attack situations, and everything doesn't require a kick in the door, cuss everybody out moment. And I know this from a guy who is trying to recalibrate the way that I recalibrate my temper. Because I'm a very respectful person. I'm a good-hearted person, like Dame. I mean well. I want everybody to do well, and I try to look out for everybody. So when people push me to the point of trying to get over me or trying to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be evil and vindictive towards me, it takes a lot to get me there. But when I get there, my temperament goes off. It goes off, and you can't tell me nothing. Because I know I'm right, and you know what I'm saying? And as men, we have to realize maybe we were taught the wrong way to handle these type of situations, especially in the Black community, where we know that strong women hold a lot of influence in our lives, like our mothers and our aunties and such. And that influence will determine how we problem solve if we're around them more. Meaning men will problem solve more like mothers if they're not around their father more, We didn't see the right example of a man calmly figuring out this problem or this, that, and the other, do this, whatever, and still get solved and get the money that you're supposed to get and stop people from trying to, disrespect you, but do it in a calm and stern way. Instead of all the rah, 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 like how women do. So if we didn't see that, then you have to relearn it. You have to recalibrate your mind in the way that you handle these things. So, and it's very hard to do. Very hard to do. But you got to do it, because if you don't, people will start to distance from you. Jay-Z left Dame and, won't talk to him and this, that, and that. People start to get tired of this being the way that you handle stuff. Everybody ain't for the rah-rah all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard lesson for us as fellas to learn, but it's one that's needed. But I think Dame Dash was done wrong, man. But he also has to look at himself and recalibrate and recalculate and wonder why things aren't going well. But every businessman experiences up and downs, wins and losses. Most successful people have experienced way more losses than wins. So Dame doesn't come across to me as being the type of person who's going to stay down. This is just a small loss. He come across as a hustler. He gonna get back in the game. He speak a lot of truth, but sometimes he goes over the top with the boss talk and all of that and feeling himself. But hey, that's Dame, man. You kind of got to take the wins with the losses. You know what I'm saying? But I still rock with Dame. I still hope he does better. And but you just have to wonder, like, you know, when you think you've been doing things right for so many years, and you're like, well, I'm gonna keep doing it my way because I've been doing it right. I've been doing it right, and I know it's the right way to do it. But everything that you're doing is crumbling because of it. Like at some point, you have to recalibrate and look at it and be like, man, am I doing this right? Have I done this right all these years? And it's like, maybe not. But I'll say this, whatever you've been doing over the years, you've probably been more so doing it your way than hearing from God. You probably haven't been consulting God through prayers or trying to actually see if this is the right decision you should make or this how you should handle this and that and the other. So the wise thing would be to start there, you know? Recalibrate your life and your thoughts and your prayers and your routine. And I think you will come up with something different if you really put your mind to it and consult God along the way. But this is your boy P. Kemp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.